remember what you said. You promised me, you said you would. You gotta give in, so I'll be good. Tell me a story, then I'll go to bed.
Well, Reed, that's two great questions. Our family name goes back a few thousand years. In fact, our last name has a biblical origin. It is explained in the book of Exodus. Moses called his firstborn Gershon. Of course, Gershenson means son of Gershon, so you might say Moses was our, I don't know how many greats, great-grandfather. Now I'll tell you about where our family came from. It is my hope that you enjoy the family history of three brothers. In chronological order, Harvey, Barry, and Mark. Our story begins in three locations: Berdichev, where our paternal grandparents came from, Minsk, where our maternal grandfather was from, and Odessa, where our maternal grandmother was from. This is a photograph of the Soifer family. It was taken in Odessa approximately 1905. Our grandmother is the youngest of the four sisters. Our great-grandfather was a scribe of the Torah. A Torah is the beautiful handwritten and illustrated scroll that contains the first 5 books of Moses. Because of the pogroms against Jewish people in Russia, the family moved to Argentina. Our great-grandfather had never worked on a farm, and he was unfortunately killed by a horse pulling a plow. Our great-grandmother then returned to Odessa with her 4 daughters, and eventually they all immigrated to the United States. I recently learned that in the late 1800s, some very wealthy European Jewish families bought land in Argentina. They did this to help the Russian Jews who were suffering from the pogroms. These families established a number of farm settlements. The largest of the settlements, and one still in existence, is Moisesville. Grandma Sarah told me that during the pogroms they would hide in the cellar. Because of the frightening experience she had, she created a fearful character that she named the Mousy Man. Grandma also told us stories about Malchik Spalchik, also known as Tom Thumb. This information was on the back of one of those photos taken in Odessa. I looked at her face closely, and I believe this is a photograph of our paternal grandmother Eva with our 2 uncles, Herman and Alvin. Our great-grandmother had good taste in cruise lines. You can see they sailed to the United States on Holland America. Our maternal grandfather, Morris Zussman, was born in Minsk. His father was a potato farmer, and at the age of 13, Morris was apprenticed out as a tailor. He practiced his craft until the age of 85. These 2 men are cousins of our maternal grandfather, Morris Zussman. The man who's standing is Harry Lieberman. The other man is Max Lieberman. Harry was also known as the Redhead, and he married our grandmother's sister, Edith. Our maternal grandparents, Morris and Sarah, before the marriage. Our mother Lillian was born on April 11th, 1919. Our paternal grandparents, Pinchas and Eva, were born in Berdichev. Berdichev was considered the cultural center for Jewish people in the Ukraine. Pinchas graduated from rabbinical school. Here is Pinchas with his 3 sons. Herman is on his right, Alvin is on his left, and our father Ben is in the front and center. Ben's birthday was October 15th, 1915. The family suffered terribly when Herman, while in high school, fell and struck his head. The injury caused brain damage. Ben, when he was a child, was blinded in one eye by a thrown piece of glass. I discovered this document when I was on the internet. It is a registration by our paternal grandfather, Pinchas Gershenson, for World War I. Pinchas taught himself to read, write, and speak English. He became head of the Hebrew Library in Chicago. At the age of 40, Pinchas retired selling life insurance. Our mother and grandmother going for a boat ride. In just a few years, our mother and father are going to meet.